In this video, I want to discuss how to improve digestion. So there are foods that can help you improve digestion, and we'll go through those foods in the next video. But for this, I want to talk about just overall picture and what we can do on a daily basis. So the first thing is that our digestive system does have a circadian rhythm. Just like our sleep cycle is very dependent on our schedule and being very systematic. And if we do get off schedule, whether it's due to travel or we're just going out partying and we're going to sleep later, or we're sleeping in and hitting snooze and we get off track, it's really going to disrupt the sleep for the next night, and so on and so on. Our digestive system knows our schedule as well. So if you do end up eating later in the evening and that's not typical for you, then that's going to throw things off, and vice versa. If you're eating all throughout the day when you're used to eating just 2 to 3 meals, your digestion is going to suffer, and vice versa. So you really want to make sure that you stay pretty consistent with the timing of your meals, the amount of your meals, and also knowing your body is key, because for some individuals, they can bulk eat. They can eat all their calories they need for substantial quality nutrition in 2 to 3 large meals, which is what I do. But other people, they can't withstand that, and it really screws up their digestion. They get backed up, they get bloated, they get gassy, uncomfortable. And so if that is the case, then learn to eat smaller, more frequent meals. But I still would say you could probably manage 4 meals and getting a good amount in, enough for full quality nutrition in a day. But if you need to do 5, you can do 5. I don't think anyone needs to be doing, 6, 7 times in a day. So hydration is also going to be really important. Now, with the caveat of the temperature of the water. So, and again, I say water. We do not need to be sipping on juice and sipping on, smoothies and sipping on all these different things. And of course, even the health food places are trying to sell you on this green drink, and this is packed with prebiotics, and this is loaded with antioxidant properties. Just stick with water for your drink. And when it comes to juices and smoothies, I would suggest just making them yourself, because with all these ingredients, Smoothie King this, and wherever you're going for it, I've seen some of the ingredients and they are not as healthy as I would think most people should be consuming on a frequent basis. So with the water, I would say room temperature, not cold, not ice cold, if you are eating food. And that is a struggle when you're going out to restaurants, which we should not be doing very often, again, if we're trying to really be in this. Because when you go out to restaurants, they're going to give you ice water, and it's just inevitable. I guess you could ask them for not. I myself have not even done that, but I probably should. And when you're at home, though, room temperature water. I always keep my water filter outside of the refrigerator, and that way I can have my water there. So that is going to help with digestion. If it's cold, it's going to disrupt digestion. Now, on the opposite side, for metabolism purposes, if you're not eating food, then having cold water is definitely going to bump up that metabolic rate. So knowing the time and the place for temperature there. So hydration is going to be key. Having fermented foods, which we will go into in the next video. And also knowing that movement is going to be helping with digestion. So if you can, walking, whether it's outside, it's in your home, prior to or after a meal, will always help with the digestive process. Now, if you are someone who drinks from a straw, I would suggest not doing that, because that is also going to disrupt digestion slightly. It's putting a lot of air in our gut, and so you want to be aware of that. And then also consuming prebiotics and probiotics, but again, that can be within the food you're consuming. I am a big advocate of looking at your overall nutrition first before you're throwing additional prebiotics and probiotics in the mix. We should be consuming a lot of fiber, 25 to 35 grams per day, to really keep things digesting properly. And then also considering digestive enzymes. So this is something that you can get from food, but you can also supplement with. And so it's understanding what you have a difficult time digesting. And if that is lactose, then you can take an enzyme for that. If it is fats, then you can take an enzyme for that. If it's protein, you can take an enzyme for that. So it's really understanding your body. And like I said, if you don't necessarily know, but you know that everything is what I typically hear from a lot of people. Everything disrupts my gut. Everything makes me swollen and makes me uncomfortable and gassy, and it really just is not a good situation. Then I really would suggest you taking the Viome test. I did provide you with that link prior to, and you can find that here as well. So I definitely would suggest that, because they do have an option for the digestive enzymes within your vitamins that will be tailored and customized to exactly what your body needs. But you can also opt for digestive enzymes, you know, from other reputable companies. You just want to make sure they're third-party tested and you really trust that company. But again, you're not going to know that your body needs that exact thing in that exact amount. So that's why I feel customization is always key. But again, in the next video, we're going to go through the foods that are good for digestion, that are fermented, and then also looking at FODMAPs and also foods that do contain digestive enzymes. See you in the next video.